guys, it's Kathy and welcome back here in my craft room and here on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm located here in the beautiful state of North Carolina. But if you are not currently working with a demonstrator and you're interested in anything Stampin' Up!, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would be more than glad to help you place your order if you see something that you just got to have. One of the papers that I have in front of me, this is an online exclusive, and on the online exclusives, and I usually put I have a red sticker right here. Normally if you see a red sticker, that's not in any catalog. You can find it online. So if you see a yellow sticker like this, that means it's from the mini catalog. And if you see a let's just grab this one. These are the deckled rectangular dies. If you see a blue sticker, that means it's in the annual catalog. So this is how I kind of keep up with where everything is, and also I color code it to help y'all as well. So today we're going to be using this particular bundle, but I think we're actually going to be pulling more from this paper, and like I said, this is an online exclusive. You can get it by going online and grabbing it there. So anyway, we're going to lay these to the side. We may use some of these sentiments, we might use some of the sprigs, I'm not sure yet. We're going to play with it and see where we go. I do know that I want to play up on the colors in this paper, and I'm seeing Pretty Peacock and Parakeet Party. I'm seeing some soft seafoam. I'm seeing not rich razzleberry, berry burst. I'm seeing some copper clay, bubble bath, fresh freesia. There are some beautiful, beautiful soft colors in this paper, and let me show you what I had in mind with my piece this morning. I'm also bringing out the deckled circles because I want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th and 6th one from the middle. So if you count out, it'll be the 4th and the 5th and the 6th one. So I'm going to lay those over to the side, and I have a piece of Parakeet Party cardstock, and I cut this one at 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score that at 5 1/2. And I'm going to show you what I have in mind on this. So I'm going to bring up my scoreboard, and I'm going to go ahead and score this at 5 1/2. So right there, give it a good score. Turn it over, fold it, give it a rub. And because I want to play off of those colors that's in that paper, I'm going to also grab, let me get my bone folder so we can give this a good crease. Alright, I want to play off of those colors, so I'm going to grab a piece of Pretty Peacock. And this piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to fit right there just like that. Now I cut a piece of that beautiful delightful florals. I want to call them translucent florals because the paper is called that, but it's not. It is delightful florals, and they are delightful because look how pretty that is. So we're going to put this down something like that, and then I want to use these circles to make myself a focal point in the middle. I took another piece of that paper and I fussy cut a collage of flowers, but I want something, if I just drop it on there it kind of gets lost. I want something that's going to kind of make it pop, and I thought for that we would use some of our leftover let's see if this one will fit on here. Oh yeah, that'll fit. And then I'm going to grab a little piece of Parakeet Party. So there we go. And we can get either or of these out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and run these through my die cut machine and just go ahead and give these a good cut. And I think because this is a larger piece of paper, I may have to do it twice. So let's put that on there like that, cover it, and then I'm going to feed it through. Alright, so I am going to take this one and I'm going to layer it something like this on the front of this card, and see how that's going to give us a place for our pretty flower to kind of land. I think that maybe even spread it out a little bit more, maybe like that. So anytime that you need to have a piece that's not going to get lost on your card, you can always cut a die cut piece, or use a solid piece of cardstock or a different floral behind it. I think this is going to be really pretty, and I think I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to pop that up because I don't want it to, you know, kind of get lost in the card. I want it to kind of lift up. So before we put that on, let's go ahead and adhere our layers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put this down on the base, the DSP on the mat. So we're just going to use some liquid glue. And then I am going to lay this right here. Give that a press, and I'm just for my own satisfaction, I'm going to just use my bone folder and press that glue into that cardstock so that we have a nice even adhesion. And then I'm going to turn this piece over and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put glue on the back of this, and then we're going to center it on our card base. I love these colors together. I think they are beautiful. And make sure your card's opening in the right direction, and then lay this, and I do much better if I turn it to the side. It just helps me get everything lined up a little bit better. And that slid just as I put it down. I felt it move. So let's might have to get another, I don't know, I think that'll work. I got glue on the back of that darker paper, and I saw when I pulled it up I had a little bit of a bleed, but you know what, you can't tell it now. So that is gorgeous. So now I need to decide which way I want to put these. I really want them to kind of give me a large area to put this flower on. So I'm going to glue these together just like that. So I'm going to take just a tiny bit of glue, and I'm holding my thumb there so I can tell I don't want to go past that. So then I'm just going to lay this one right into the glue, give it a press, and now this piece is ready to go onto our card. But I'm going to turn it over because I want to pop it up with some dimensionals. So I'm going to take a dimensional here and here. Maybe there, and there, and maybe one there. And I think it might be good to put one right there in the center. So that's good for what for anchoring this piece down. So just pull off those backers. Once you get them all off, then you can decide exactly where you want this. And I just want to kind of center it at an angle like that. And now I'm going to turn this piece over because I also want to make sure this is popped up. And this I'm going to probably use a few more dimensionals on it because it is paper. It's not a cardstock. So it can be a little more delicate than your cardstock when it comes to it sitting up like you want it to. So I'm not going to skimp. I'm going to get enough of these on here to be satisfactory to me. And you know, you do you when you're doing your cards, but the last thing you want to do is give somebody a card and it fall apart. That's just not a good thing. Don't you agree? So I like to put enough of glue and dimensionals and what have you on my card. So I'm going to place that down right about there, and see how that lifts it up so you have that focal point on the front. Now the only thing I need to do is grab a die and a sentiment, and I'm going to go off camera and get that. I'm going to also cut a piece for my inside, and when we come back we'll put this card together, and I think anybody would be happy to receive this beautiful, colorful, absolutely gorgeous card. We'll be right back. Alright everyone, I am back, and I did a very, very stupid thing, and this happens. I neglected to turn my camera back on, and I continued to work on my card. The only thing that I did, and I'm going to explain to you what I did, I took a sentiment from Wonderful Thoughts that said thinking of you, and I grabbed a piece of scrap cardstock, something like this. I did use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink because I wanted a nice bold black image, and I inked it up and stamped it about like that. And then I used the coordinating dies, which this particular set has a wonderful set of dies where you can cut out all of the sentiments. So what I did is I grabbed this one and placed it around my sentiment like so. I used a little piece of one of my flags, and I ran that through my die cut machine. And when it came out, I took a piece of this beautiful copper ribbon. This comes in a 2-pack, and it is in the mini catalog, I believe. I'm going to show you where it's at so you'll know. On page 77, Copper and Natural Ribbon Combo Pack. So it comes with another roll that looks like this, and I haven't opened this one yet. But that's the ribbon that I used, and it's a very shiny gross grain ribbon. It's very, very pretty. And all I did not tie a bow because I wanted to make sure that I could loop my bow. It looks like a bow, but it really isn't. What I did is I used the glue dot. I used my mini glue dots, and I took my ribbon in half, and maybe I can show you. I don't want to waste my ribbon, but anyway, what I did is I put the ribbon down in the middle, then I brought it over and looped it and put another glue dot, and then I went to the other side and looped it over, put a glue dot, and I kept doing that until I had my tails about where I wanted them, or until I had 2 loops. Then I took my sentiment after I had die cut it, and I put dimensions on this end, double dimensions, and glue over on this end, and that allowed me to bring that straight across where I put it. I am loving the way this card has turned out. I think it's beautiful. This is what to do when your paper is too busy, and I think that's what I'll title this, What to Do When Your Paper is Too Busy. And this is a very busy pattern, but we made it work with a fussy cut flower that we pulled all together. So now what I want to do is I want to grab another piece of Pretty Peacock, and I have a piece right here, and I'm going to cut a base for in here that is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. By 5 1/4, and that's going to be one of our mats, but I also want something light enough that we can stamp on, so I'm going to grab another piece of white, let's see if this will work. So we need it to be 3 and 3 Not quite, but you know what? I think we can make that work. I need to cut this down just a little bit, so I'm going to take this down to about 4 3/4. So this piece is going to measure 4 1/2 by 4 3/4. So it's a little bit different sizing for your mat, but then that's going to give us a bigger border all the way around, which sometimes it's nice. And then we can very strategically put this inside of here, and we're carrying through with that palette, and I love that. I think it's so pretty, and it is just, I think it's just a darling card. Inside, thinking of you, I think I want to put, how about if we put "you are much appreciated"? I like that. And we're going to stamp this up here in the top. My dogs are snoring. In case y'all are hearing that in the background, that is my babies. And that's actually, believe it or not, that's Toby snoring this time, which normally it's Bella, but every now and then Toby will get on his little bandwagon of snoring as well. Alright, I'm going to grab a stamp block and I'm going to pick this up. And I'm wondering if, I think I'm going to carry through with the black. Since I used the black on the front, we're going to just carry through with that on the inside as well. Love it. And now if we wanted to dress this up a little bit, we could very easily grab a little piece of this paper. And I've got a piece already cut, so I think what I want to do is cut a 1/2 inch on each side, or that would be pretty too, but I want to go with this floral. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. Sometimes it's nice just to kind of dress it up a little bit on the inside. And I think I'm going to do 1 2 3/8. I'm sorry about that. Toby is snoring up a storm. Alright, there is one piece for one side, and we're going to do 1 2 3/8 on this one. And we're going to do that at 4 1/4. I mean 4 3/4, I'm sorry. 4 3/4. You know what, I think I'm going to stack these together so I can cut these both at the same time. So if I can get them, situated in here like I need them. Okay, 4 3/4, just like that. And now we've got those little pieces that we can put down. So these can go right about here. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to take a bead of glue and I'm going to run it straight down this area, and then I'm going to lay this into my glue all the way over. I'll come down just a hair. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to put this one just in that glue. Bring it all the way to the bottom. And now this piece is ready to go onto our card or our mat. And I'm going to turn it sideways because y'all know I like doing that. And we're going to lay that down right about there. Give it a press. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to do the same thing back here. I'm going to run a bead of glue. And press that in just like that. Isn't that a gorgeous card? I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think anyone would love to receive a card like this. It lets someone know that they are in your thoughts and that you care about them. So what is a better card than that? Thanks so much for tuning in today. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior, Jesus Christ. He is worthy, and there is power in the name of Jesus. So until we craft again, take care and know that you are thought of and loved. Bye-bye.